G'day, this is Donna Arthur and I'm here for another craft video from Craft With Us. Today we're going to be making this cute little butterfly shaker card. So first of all, what you need is a couple of sheets of craft foam, a little piece of acetate. I'm actually going to do this today on a black card, it's an A5 piece of card folded in half. And I've got my little white card to go on top. A couple of colours of ink and an embossing folder. And today I'm using butterfly stamps and die cuts, but you could in actual fact use anything, and at the end I've got some other examples of some of the others that we've used. So you can see that what I've done here firstly is I've used my yellow, which is a Stampin' Up yellow, and I've just stamped that on with the first stamp. So this is a layering stamp set that I've got. There's actually 3 layers, but I'm only using 2 on each one of the butterflies today. I've used yellow in the background. I'm just putting the second layer on. I've got 2 sizes and I'm just going to stamp that with my Memento black ink. Just using my stamp positioning tool, which is fantastic. It makes life so much easier and you know everything's perfect. So just give that a good press and there we go, we've got some lovely butterflies. Now you can see all we're doing here is just putting the dies around the outside of it and we're going to cut it. Now this is actually going to be the top of our card, the front of our card, but we're cutting the dies out because we're going to make that the shaker feature that you'll see as we go along. So I'll just talk to you a little bit about the craft foam. Now I use craft foam for this because I find that it gives me a better seal all the way around the outside. And what I don't show you on this video, but what I do is with the craft foam here, I've actually stuck the 2 pieces together. I've rolled them through my die cutting machine first of all, and I've used glue and double-sided tape to stick the 2 pieces together just to give me a little bit more depth. So I'm now using the negative space from the butterflies to draw the outline on the craft foam and just lining up the dies to go on there. You may have noticed I put the dies in in the negative space, so it really gave me a good space where to line up the dies. I didn't show you on camera, but I have run this top piece now through the with an embossing folder through my machine, and now I'm just using this lovely Distress Oxide to put around the edges of the opening of the butterfly just to give it a little bit more interest on the card itself. This is fun. I love the Distress Oxides. That's just a piece of acetate, by the way, that I'm using in the background until I get a multimedia mat, which I don't have yet. So that's okay. Sometimes you've just got to use what you've got. So now that piece of acetate, I've put some double-sided tape around. You don't need to worry about sticking it directly around the butterflies, but I did put some double-sided tape around the butterflies on this one just to stop the edges from pulling up. So that's the top piece of our, and I'm just lining it up. I love to check to make sure nothing's glued down yet, but I always love to, you know, just keep looking and making sure I'm doing the right thing. So now what I'm going to do is position the foam where it needs to be on the base of the card. You can see how that gives us a nice solid background. You know, so when it's going through the post, it won't get destroyed. I'm just using some washi tape to put that in position on the base there, and now I'm going to use the layered butterflies that we stamped at the beginning that we cut out from the top piece of card, and I'm going to stick them in. So I'm just using a wet glue here. Now this is a small glue container, but it actually has Aleene's tacky glue in it. So there we go. I'm just popping that in for my card. Now just put some double-sided tape around the edge of the foam, double checking to make sure that I've put it on the correct side because I have definitely put it on the wrong side before. Some liquid glue around the actual butterflies because we need to make sure that none of our sequins fall out of the cutout section there, hence why we put the liquid glue around it. I'm just going to put the plate from my Cuttlebug on top of that to hold it down and keep it flat. You can see I've got some black and yellow sequins here. I'm going to put a couple in each. Well, a couple in the first one. Then the rest in the larger butterfly. Oh, that's a couple of seed beads that I'm putting in there. And tipped them on and made a mess. And I have already put glue around there. I can't remember if we've seen that or not. A few more seed beads. But clearly by the time I put all of this stuff on it dried, so I'm going to put a bit more glue around the outside, wet glue. Make sure that that's in the right space. Just going to grab my anti-static little bag. This is because what happens is when I put this on, the static from the acetate pulls all of the sequins up, and it's quite frustrating really. Sticking that down and removing the tape from around the edge. Beautiful. So there we have that lovely shaker card. The only thing that I did now that I haven't shown on screen is I used some white embossed. You can see my greeting, and it's a small greeting and says wishing you peace. So this is suitable for anything. I think butterflies are peaceful. Just a couple of examples of some other things. You can use any sorts of dies that you may already have. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please give us a thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.